depression or sadness or like, are you not angry? You did this. Okay. And I'm like, no, this is great. And it just annoys them. Just be happy. It drives people nuts.
Throughout the Women in Technology series, we've seen that the technology industry is pretty much male-dominated, and there are not a lot of women that come into this industry. So what I wanted to ask you is, what are the pervasive myths about computer science or technology that actually disencourages women from entering the field?
Yeah, there are multiple things. Well, first of all, I don't think that STEM is still encouraged so much amongst families and friends when you're suggesting careers for women. It's not something we do. And even when they come out of it, when they finally join a very STEM-oriented industry, when you find hundreds and thousands of men and very few women, it's highly discouraging. You eventually just want to quit because you don't find people along the same wavelength. I think that a lot of recently you must have read there's a lot of discrepancy amongst the pay that is offered to both men and women. They're the typical things that are applied to a woman that are not applied to a man, like, oh, now she's gonna have a baby, she's not gonna be very productive for 2 years, does that mean I shouldn't promote her? These are things that a man will never be subject to. And also when you go away for so long and most of the childbearing load is taken up by the woman as opposed to the man, her career is the one that takes the biggest hit. And STEM is such a fast moving field. If you go away for a couple of years, it's really hard to come back and fit. It just doesn't work like that. So because of all of these reasons, I think we still don't have the critical number of women in tech. And I think the critical number is at least 33 to 40%. If you have less than that, you will always feel like, oh, this is not working. Even though I have an initiative, this is not working, so I should abandon it. I think unless you get the number of 40% at the least, you shouldn't even think of abandoning it because you can't even begin to see the results. That's what I think. The second and the biggest thing is, I think right now a lot of tech opportunities are in growing sectors like startups and innovation sectors, and this is not where women end up working, even if they have a degree in some kind of STEM. They're encouraged to go after the big established players because they're not encouraged to take chances. We don't allow women to have a risk appetite, right? So even if they come out of STEM, they want to go into very stable careers. They don't want to go into things that are adventurous or slightly tumultuous because that's not something we've been cultivated for women to do. And so you end up seeing women even lesser in these kind of developing sectors. Like I'm in deep tech and I struggle all the time to hire women. I rarely get applications. Like I just don't. I get only men.
The way it is like most startups, they're by men, right? Wouldn't you feel a little bit not comfortable to even apply if you go into your office and it's just men?
Of course. So tell me about it. Been my life for so long. And like I've been in a company where I've even heard like let's say it was a room full of 20 men, I was the only woman, and they either pretended like I was also a man, so they could just say anything they want, some of it was extremely disrespectful, or they would just pretend like I'm not there. So one of the two. It was hard, and it's so uncomfortable that one point you want to drop out and you go and join something else.
So what advice do you have, for example, for a startup that only has men but they want to actually include women?
Like us. So we're really trying and it's really hard. Well, first of all, we don't get applicants. Secondly, when we get applicants, we get so few, we don't get the right merit that we're looking for. Because let's say 40 men apply and 3 women, so we just don't get. And the second thing is we try to keep the position open longer so we can get people. But startups are cash starved, really cash starved. And if you have to look at our funding structure, the investors are also mostly male based. They don't understand why a particular woman might be wanting to create opportunities for other women. It doesn't matter because they're only looking at what's the return on investment. So you can't really do things your way. You have to do it the speed at which they want you to. So we are not ending up creating as much opportunities for women as I would like, despite being a woman entrepreneur. I think this can only be fixed when you have women across all the tiers of the ecosystem. You have them in the investment community, you have some of them in the decision making, you have them at the founder CEO level.
At every different level.
At every level. Like, let's think about men. It's just like they're at every level.
And everywhere.
You just want women at every level as well. well. It's kind of like, it's only then it's going to work. Just putting them in 1 or 2 levels is a beginning. So we are beginning to make a difference, but it's not going to have visible results until you have women across all the tiers. And the number of women in the investment community is dismally low. Really low. Like, I've rarely gone to an investment meeting where the decision maker was a woman across the seat from me. I would love to see that. I've rarely seen it. I've documented it. I think very few instances, single digit, and I must have gone to hundreds of meetings.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But do you think that we are moving forwards anyways in terms of including women? There's more women than there were before, right?
I think so. I think we're definitely moving forward.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention one thing here. I think women like yourself are extremely pioneering as well. You're setting up these amazing opportunities. They're entrepreneurial opportunities, but more importantly, Alex. Can I call you Alex?
Yeah, she can call me Alex, right?
Can I call you Alex?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alex.
I think Alex, great. I think that you're amazing because by creating this, you are making it possible for a lot of other women to look at what is possible for them. And I think this is what we need. So you asked me, what are we doing? Are we moving forward? I think we are greatly moving forward with people like yourself. You're not only creating opportunities for yourself, but you're creating opportunities for others. And this is what we need. We'll make small snail progress, but we'll get that.
Oh, thank you so much, Joyeeta. That is so sweet. And I've really enjoyed speaking with you today. And we're coming to the end of our interview. And I don't even want to say bye because I've enjoyed speaking with you. But as you guys know, my most favorite question of all time, what is your motto?
Oof, existential question. To be or not to be? What is my motto? Do I have 3 things actually?
Okay.
So the first and the most important thing for me is to be compassionate at all times. If I'm finding myself purposely being harsh or arrogant or rude or causing pain, I suffer a lot more than the person I caused it to. I actually go home and suffer miserably. And sometimes I'm having to do it consciously to get stuff done in the business world. And it's really terrible. It directly goes against my principles. But I think that there is a point in every action where you can choose to do what needs to be done, and you can still do it with a level of compassion. It's possible if you're conscious and careful. So it's my foremost thing at all times is to keep that in mind. It's really important because a lot of people have been kind to me. That's why I'm here, despite all the harsh difficulties. The fact that I'm here is because a lot of people have been kind to me, and I want to be able to pass it on. So that's one. The second thing is, well, it's a little bit selfish, but it's what it is. At every moment in my life, I just want to choose happiness. If there's like 2 choices, it's not what I do, it's what I choose to feel. What happens to me is not in my control, but how I react to it is in my control, and I can choose to be happy with it or unhappy with it. And I always choose to be happy 99.99% of the time. Always choose to be happy. It doesn't matter what the world's doing, what you're doing. What matters is how I feel about it, and I choose to be happy. You can't do anything about it. That's sort of my second thing.
I absolutely love that.
It's very disturbing, sometimes people like really want to see me going into this depression or sadness or like, are you not angry? I did this. Okay. And I'm like, no, this is great. And it just annoys them. Just be happy. It drives people nuts. I'm
gonna start using that a lot.
I'm just happy and it drives them nuts. Trust me. That's my second motto. Be happy at all times.
Okay.
And the third and the most important thing is I always think like this, and this sounds a little bit philosophic and a little bit like, oh, it's in the books, but I sincerely do this. If you really, really were dying, what would be the most important things for you? And if you think like that for even half an hour, you will see a lot of things we do through the day are nonsense. They're not things that matter. Like if you were stuck in an airport and you were told there's a storm outside and you'll never make it out, who are you going to call? What text will you write? Are you still going to be angry with that random friend next door? Does it really matter who stole your Xbox? Like, I'm just saying, if you think about
Did someone ever steal your Xbox?
Close. I don't deal with that well. But I'm just saying.
Matter?
But if you think about it, like if you were really just going to be able to write 5 texts on your phone, just 5, because the flight is going down, 10 seconds, and you're like, oh my God, we're going to be in free fall. who are you going to write and what will it be?
Yeah.
And if you think about that, the most important things and the most important people float to the surface of your consciousness immediately. Like, like light or pebbles float up. It just happens. And as soon as you get that perspective, it doesn't matter what happened through the day. It goes fine. With these 3 things, I'm able to find how to get through my day, get through my life.
Yeah.
I don't have a huge grander purpose, but I just do these 3 things moment to moment. Whatever adds up is probably my purpose.
Thank you so much for sitting with us today. I, for one, enjoyed speaking with Joyeeta. I hope that you have gotten some important lessons from her career, her life story. Now owning an organization is having a big impact and changing the game makers for companies all over the world. I hope that you understand how important ambition is, as she explained that make sure you always have the right people with you when you're starting this journey, because it's not always going to be easy. Being an entrepreneur is difficult. With Joyeeta, 1 hour equals 6 hours, guys. So that's how intense it can be. So when you're about to start this journey, make sure that you know what you're signing up for. Make sure that you actually create the environment that will help you become successful. And I'm just so grateful that you were able to share that with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, Alex. Good luck with everything you do, and I hope you inspire a lot more women.
Thank you.